Ladies, gents, welcome back. Now, Mario Wonder has been critically acclaimed by many players around the world, considering it is one of the greatest 2D platformers ever made. Bold statement, but it is up there with Celeste and Hollow Knight as platformers, even great OST, great levels. I won't talk about the story much because I didn't find it interesting at all. It's a Mario game. What are you supposed to expect? Now, let's jump into Mario Wonder.
Here we go!
So, first and foremost, I'm not really going to talk about the story, because it's a Mario game. What story is there to cover? Well, if you want a brief covering of the story, I'll put up some text on the screen. Pause if you'd like to read it. So, I ended up playing this game on release day because it was a game I was like, oh, 2D Mario, I haven't played that in forever. The last 2D Mario game I played was Bros. Wii, so I was like, you know what? Let's buy this on launch day. Now, I know Spider-Man 2 released at the same day, but unfortunately, I don't have a PS5, so all I have to work with is an Xbox and a Switch. Now, let's start off with the negatives. So, in the video, we'll be all bubbly happy, and it's going to be positives at the end of the video. So, if you want to skip to the positives, please skip to this timestamp, and yeah. Kicking off with the negatives, what the f is this online? So, instead of having multiplayer online, which is what 3D World did, which came out in 2021, so there's no excuse on the same platform, by the way. Well, generally speaking, Switch Online sucks. But that's a whole different story for another topic. Online multiplayer is thrown out the window. But wait, isn't there online multiplayer technically? You can only do multiplayer. You can't directly interact with each other. It was one thing that Bros. You didn't have online. But why not Wonder? It would be such an awesome addition, keeping the game alive or being able to interact with each other. All you're given is a time attack. Isn't bad, but it's just okay at best. Well, all you have is local multiplayer, meaning you can play on the couch with some friends at least, but you should expect online multiplayer since it's Mario and it's the newest 2D Mario on the Switch, with the last one being Bros. U all the way back in 2013. I just find it mind-boggling that a 2D Mario game in 2023 does not have online multiplayer. Next, I want to move on to the removal of game modes. Now, what am I talking about? Basically, Coin Battle or Free-For-All, which were back in Luigi U as a separate game mode, and Mario Bros. U, Mario Bros. Wii, so on and so forth. Also not bringing back Luigi U as a separate game mode or as a offline type of thing, which it does have online but not offline. You can't do time attack offline for whatever reason. So all you really can play is just the main levels. What I mean by that is basically the main story. Now, not bringing it up Mario U to be fair, but what I hear often is it was artificial, not a bad game per se, but it was a good game, a generically good game to be blunt. Even then, not many played the Wii U version. Luigi U on the other hand was praised as a nice change of pace. Also, I should mention how easy this game is. I know what you're thinking, well, it's a Mario game, you shouldn't be expecting a crazy difficult game. Well, yes, I see where you're coming from. Mario games have some degree of difficulty, you know, 9-7 from Mario Bros. Wii, Galaxy 2's Perfect Run, 3D Land Special Level, Champions Road 3D World, Darker Side, Super Mario Odyssey. Now, it's usually content streamed from the main story like side content. I 100% everything along the way, which wasn't hard to Wonder Seeds, which they're great. Now, it brings a lot of opportunity to these levels and plenty of ideas to the table. Now, I do like the Wonder Seeds, so let's get that straight. Now, the level lines themselves are good, but I just found the game to be way too easy, even for Mario games. Maybe it's because I'm older and I found Mario Bros. To be hard as a child, or ultimately, that's another thing. That is the worst 2D Mario game, any boss fights in the Mario series. I understand the Koopalings not coming back, but they made the 2D Mario series a staple. They were a staple in the 2D Mario series. Only having Bowser Jr. as a boss fight, it does introduce some cool new ideas, but the boss fights themselves are boring as shit. Just missed opportunity after missed opportunities. Like, the best you could do was Big Bowser, Little Bowser Jr. Moving platforms, like the Koopalings had more interesting ideas. As repetitive as it is, the Koopalings would have been brought back and I wouldn't mind, to be honest, because at least they had something interesting, like Lemmy's Ball, Iggy's Chain Chomp, Ludwig's platforms, floating. All of those bosses at least had something unique. It was just disappointing, except for maybe the other World 4 boss, where it was decent with the water bubbles in midair, but that's about it. Bowser himself, on the other hand, was actually setting up some cool stuff, from conquering the galaxy, setting up a wedding, and now smoking that good shit. There is no denying the Wonder Seed is basically getting on drugs in a nutshell, but in a kid-friendly version, essentially. Well, he's a DJ now, which I find really cool. At least the Bowser fights held some significance. I understand the limitation 2D gives are a lot. Now, since Bowser Jr. fights in the Mario Galaxy games are great bosses, but this was just disappointing. thing. I also know some characters are harder to play than others. In most of my footage, I've been using Luigi because he's my favorite Mario character to play in any Mario game. He's known for having the highest jump out of all the characters, but even then, they're still easy characters to play in general. One last thing for though, the game is too short. What I expected for any 2D game, it's going to be short. Metroid Dread, for example, it's a great game, $60, but I beat it in 12 hours. It's still a great game though. I love it because it's infinitely replayable. Now, you can make an argument that it's all about replayability, but I just couldn't replay this game because I 100%ed it already. I can say the same about Mario Odyssey, but which in my last video, I talked about how I came to appreciate it. However, it's still not a replayable game is something that I can and will agree with. That's pretty much all my issues I have with this game. So in a nutshell, the boss fights, they're boring. The difficulty is easy. The lack of actual online multiplayer is baffling. And the fact that all the content is basically the levels. There is no separate game modes, nothing like that. No offline time attack mode. I believe from what I've played, it's only available online and all you have is just the main levels. There is no free-for-all, no coin battle, none of the sort, which I find to be a letdown because I was expecting Mario Wonder to be a fairly huge package. Now, it is on me, to be fair, to expect Mario Wonder to have a fairly huge package. You know, I'd expect some game modes, some actual online multiplayer. Unfortunately, that just does not happen to be the case. And I still love the game, don't get me wrong, which is why I'm jumping to the positives right now. But I just can't ignore these issues that are blatant that I find with Mario Wonder. And don't get me wrong, it's still a great game, but that's pretty much all the negative that I have to say. Now, let's jump to the positives now, shall we? Lighten the mood up a little bit. I wanted to get the negatives out of the way first, and now it's time for the positive things. What I love about the game first is the most notable issue. First is the most noticeable thing. The art style. Now this is how you make a stunning Switch game, on par with Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Xenoblade, Splatoon, Smash Ultimate, so on and so forth. Super Mario Wonder, just visually stunning. The animation is also a great detail. Yeah, it's super small. While playing the game is not really that noticeable, but if you also take the time, pay attention to the animations themselves, you'll really appreciate the details. It's a hell of a lot more better than the lifeless animations from the 2D Mario games past, from Bros DS all the way to Bros U Deluxe, as there's minimal changes in the Switch version, as people just call Super Mario Bros. U Super Mario Wii in HD. I also like that you can run around the world map, just like in Super Mario 3D World, running around aimlessly and doing whatever you want around the world map. Music is also honestly great, really needed a nice breath of fresh air because Bros U's OST wasn't bad, but it's generically bubbly happy Mario music. You can also make the same argument for Wonder, but it's still a solid OST. It's a bunch of unique environments in the world, 6 worlds, 2 special worlds, and the world themselves are really good. Well, there's only 6 worlds, technically 8, we'll get to that. The world map looks great. It's connected to one big map, so you can manually walk around the next world instead of simply skip traveling, but you can skip travel to either a different world or an individual level. The speedrun potential this game has is great. To be honest, I wanted to speedrun this game too, but as I mentioned earlier, I just didn't really take the time to do so. But there was one game I did take the time to speedrun, which was Celeste, and I've gotten close to beating the summit in less than 10 minutes. My literal best was 10 minutes exactly, but 2 milliseconds off. That was 3 milliseconds off of reaching 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Am I mad about it? Not really, but it's an achievement to be proud of because Celeste I absolutely love and it's a great game. Moving back to Mario Wonder, I found the game to be really good, and as I mentioned earlier, I pre-ordered the game on GameStop, which also came in with a sticker pack as a pre-order bonus. It's pretty neat. It also came with the box art. This just looks great to look at. Incredible. This reminded me of why people love collecting physical games. It's just cool to look at. Sure, you'll put it away in a shelf or something, but once you actually take the time to look about it, you appreciate it a lot more. Physical box art is far better than digital. Now, back to the gameplay. The Wonder Seeds are a great addition to the game, adding an element of wacky Mario goodness. When I did mention that the game is really easy, there are a few levels here and there that are genuinely difficult, such as the special world. This is a world where you unlock after defeating Bowser, which I'll get to real quick. His boss fight is decent, the concept itself is great, but I would have thought he would have done something more cool, grandiose. I don't want to say it, but it's a letdown. But yeah, it pretty much is. We've seen better final bosses in the 2D Mario series, where Bowser is big and Bros Wii. Now, I might get shit for this. Maybe it's biased from my childhood days of Bros Wii, but it was a great battle. There's basically nothing you can do against Bowser. Bowser, and it sets the tone. You gotta get the fuck out of there. Frantically, it's a fight where you can't beat the Bowser directly. In Mario Wonder, it's a rhythm game against Bowser. It's fine at best. Pretty much that's what I have to say about Bowser. The special world is fully either challenging or tedious. The Goomba level is boring but tedious. Trying to 100% is the pain in the special world because the final level wasn't that bad, to be fair. Now, for those that have played the Goomba level, I hope it was a great experience for you guys, because I did not like that level, if I'm being honest. It was more of a lack of not properly timed jumps, because that's mostly what it is in the later half of the level. The first part is easy, crossing over the swamps, but going through the jumping platformers, you get scared because you're a Goomba, and you also can only get one hit. You have 1 HP pretty much. Overall, Bowser's World is fine. It's good. Nothing really too bad to say about it. Special World is also pretty good. It's a solid special world, not a bad one at all. It's up there with World 9 from Mario Bros. Wii, but just like every special world, you have to 100% every world pretty much, or get a specific amount of Wonder Seeds to unlock said level. There's 6 levels, 1 representing each world respectively, and yeah, there's also a final level, a semi-final level before you get to the final level, which is fairly difficult. Not to say that it's easy, but yeah, overall Mario Wonder is a pretty good game while having solid character roster, solid levels, stunning art style and animations, minimal bugs I found. I don't think I found a single bug in my experience of this game. Consistent frame rate, as well as whether docked or handheld. I generally found Super Mario Wonder to be a great experience, but I felt it should have had more game modes, actual online multiplayer, better boss fights, yet it's still the 2D Mario experience we needed. So it's a must play in my opinion. And this game came out at a pretty good time as well, in October 20, considering Sonic Superstars, well, it was fine, but it looks like it didn't do too well because of all the multiplayer glitches and the fact that the final boss was bugged out. But I don't want to sound like one of those spoiled Mario fans who hate on the games often. So anyways, thank you for watching this. Like, subscribe, enjoy yourselves, and have a good one.